I dreamed it up with my assistant. I can't. You have an assistant. Great. I can't even get a fully functional second mic. I'm kidding. I dreamed it up with my assistant. I can't. By the way, did you guys hear that yesterday? I wish Johnny was on today. I want to talk to him about something. I want to talk to Johnny about something. Did you hear him say that? Because I think it was, who's the guy who fucking hates him, who always gives him shit? Not Sam. It's not Sam's show. Andrew's son. Andrew's son wrote in yesterday, and he said, Johnny, you should pay Aaron for being on the show. And I made a joke, and I said, oh, yeah, I mean, is that an option? I never even thought that was an option. You want to pay me to... And then Johnny goes, like, Johnny got like a f***ing ego about it, and he goes, oh, yeah, you know, if I even took a pay cut, I'd leave. You know, I don't like to do this. And I wish you were on today and we could have this conversation. I don't want to do this, but I believe I'm paying him far better than any other podcast has offered to pay him. I don't think that, I mean, are there a lot of podcasts that are throwing money at him every month? Is this a thing? Is there I'm very much a capitalist, right? If you have a better deal out in front of you, go get the better deal. When Corey Adam and I were parting ways, he was saying like, oh, and we've had to cut pay recently and it's not as much. And I'd like to go out and, you know, see what I can get. And to me, I said to Corey, I'm like, well, I mean, that's the free market. If you can go out and you can get more somewhere else, absolutely go out and do it. Now, in my mind, if you can't go out and get that much, then I was overpaying you. Then I was losing money on that deal. And then Corey went out there and he didn't find another gig and he didn't find another co-host thing. He even stopped doing the show he was doing because, and this is something that I think is fair to bring up, being a co-host on Steel Toe gets you numbers for whatever show you do later that day. Like being on Steel Toe got Corey viewers for the show he did later, as evidence that after he left Steel Toe, there was nobody left to watch his show. Same thing with Johnny. So when I make the joke where I'm like, can I try charging you for being on the show? And then they come back with, actually, if you didn't pay me what you pay me now, I would quit. I'd be really? Where is this all? Like, I gave Johnny a bump in pay because someone else left. And I thought that would be very nice. Rather than just, asking the audience for less, which we did that too. But, I mean, the evening show goal is down. But, like, instead of just asking for less, I go, well, let's give this guy more. Johnny didn't present me an offer that he got from another show. Nobody else was banging down the door to steal Johnny away from Steel Toe. I just graciously gave him more. Was he underpaid? I mean, no, he wasn't. You're only underpaid if somebody else is giving you more. If somebody else is going, I'll give you this much, and you're under contract to someone else for less, then yeah, you're underpaid because the market values you here. Like a lot of people have this weird attitude, and I used to have it when I was very, very young, that if you're not getting paid what you want, then you're underpaid. That's not true at all. You're only underpaid if there's a valuation out there for you that's higher than what you're getting. So like when Johnny was going, if I took one more pay cut, I'd be out of here. It's like, I could give you a pay cut and we could go out on the open market and we could find out you're still overpaid. And I have no problem paying Johnny what I pay him. That's not the issue. The issue is someone going, can cut it. I'll leave. Like, I don't know about you. I'm the kind of guy where someone says something like that, I'm like, oh yeah, prove it. Because I learned with Corey when Corey was like, well, I need to go make money somewhere else. I'm like, okay, you're more than welcome to go make money somewhere else. And then they didn't, and you feel a little vindicated. MSO says KB offered Johnny $500 a show. Yeah, for a show or two. I'm talking about regularly. $1 from Aaron's box says, you are better than what Johnny deserves. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I wish Johnny was on today so I could go, wait a minute. You kind of snuck a spitball past the batter there yesterday when you said if there was a pay cut, I'd be gone. And I would be like, I want to talk to you about that today. What the was that all about? You know what it is? Let me tell you something. Let me tell you what it is. Johnny's making all this money selling Gorilla Cum and futons and spiral ham and bald eagle meat, and he's getting a little big for his britches. That's what it is. Johnny's selling Gorilla Cum and reindeer jerky during Christmas season, Rudolph rump roast, and he's getting a big head on his shoulders. Look, that's what happens when entrepreneurs start hitting it rich. See, Mr. Beat says Johnny just sold his futon. He's N-word rich right now. It kind of feels like it a little bit, right? And Triple N says, oh, shit, Aaron calls crutches overpaid. I like to think, one thing about me, I'd like to think that I've always overpaid my guys, like in a good way. I've always, because market rate was what they were making at the radio station because they took it. And they kept doing it there. And I think the radio station was paying those guys like $10 an hour. It was bad. So when they came over here, technically, if I was a good businessman, I would have paid them $11 an hour. But that felt wrong to me. I was like, that is fucking gross. I don't want to do that. So I gave them 4 figures a month to come over and do the show. Wildly overpaid, but at the same time, awfully nice, and that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be nice. And where did that get me? Approachable says, money isn't everything. I definitely believe Johnny is underpaying. I think he means underpaid for the amount of bullshit he needs to put up with. Okay, wait. This is where I have to defend people who do real jobs, not the bullshit that I do. Put up with what? Like, does the man on the scaffold put up with less than I do, than everyone else does? What do I have to deal with? I have to not defend myself. I have to defend my audience here for a minute, and not me and not Johnny. First of all, Johnny takes 1/1,000,000th of any kind of shit that I get. Second of all, I get 1,000,000 times more shit than Johnny does, and it's fine with me. It affects me literally zero. Could not affect me less. I'm fine. And I put up with a lot of shit. Like people who work for a living and have a boss who's a fucking power hungry to them and ask them to work days where their kid has a baseball game or something like that and won't give them the day off. They're putting up with a lot more shit than I am or Johnny is. Let's be very clear about that. Sam Show says, the man on the scaffold can walk, Aaron. All right, that bad example. Mikey Two Milk says, Johnny has to deal with a lot of trolls that he wouldn't if it weren't for you, Aaron. Well, Johnny, if it weren't for me, Johnny wouldn't have any trolls he would have to deal with. He would have zero. Wouldn't even be in broadcasting. Wouldn't have to worry about any of it. That's true. Mikey Two Milks with a great point. If it wasn't for me, Johnny wouldn't have to deal with any kind of entertainment, anything. He would have none to deal with. Aaron has never watched Johnny's show, so that's not true. We've watched Johnny's show on this show when he was fucking zonked out of his mind. Aaron's box with $1 says, Johnny says you don't offer him health insurance. Johnny's a contractor and part-time worker. Why would I offer him health insurance? All right, now people are getting pissy. I'll move on. I just wanted to, Jesus Christ, sometimes I do a show for girls. No, I just thought it was funny yesterday. This whole thing started because someone brought up the thing Johnny said yesterday. I really wish Johnny was on today because I want to do a segment about what he meant by that whole, if I ever even had to take a pay cut, I would be out of here. It's like, oh, okay. It doesn't make you feel good as a person, I feel like, approachable and annoyed Wawa supervisor. I feel like they're not really thinking about my feelings here. How did that make you? Aaron, I'm not here out of loyalty or because I like doing the show with you. If you paid me $5 less, I'll leave. Oh, all right. I know where I stand. But then your defense of yourself on that is, oh, why? Is there someone offering you more to go elsewhere? That bothers me.